This reaction is pregnant but refusing to believe it until delivery day, but we've been service signed up. Like, so the link to the video will be description below. Go and check them out. So let's into this vaccine in 3, 2, 1.
Daniel Whit. The first time Daniel Whitmore felt the sharp pain in his lower abdomen, he
Yep.
dismissed it as stress. He had been working
Yep.
long shifts at the construction site, skipping meals,
Wow, really? 7 minutes? Wow.
sleeping poorly. The pain came again a
Wow.
week later, sharper this time, followed by nausea that left him hunched over the sink every morning. He thought it was food poisoning.
Yeah.
Then, when his stomach began to swell, he blamed the beer. Daniel was 34, broad-shouldered, and proud of his strength. He
Yeah.
laughed with his coworkers about his beer belly. But when
Be
even water
buddy.
made him vomit, the laughter stopped. He could feel something moving inside him.
Really?
Still, he refused to believe it. In the small town of
Yep, that's a baby bump. Yep.
Willow Creek, rumors traveled fast. Daniel had withdrawn from everyone, friends, family, even his girlfriend, Marissa. He stopped showing up at work. His house lights stayed off most nights. He spent his days on the couch, clutching
Really?
his abdomen, feeling faint pulses under his skin. Sometimes, late at night, he would hear a faint rhythm, like two heartbeats overlapping his own. He visited the local clinic once. The nurse frowned at his test results and said the equipment must be faulty. She ran them again, twice. Then she told him quietly that she would refer him to a hospital in the city. Daniel never went. He burned the referral letter the same night, convincing himself that it was impossible. Men didn't get pregnant. He wasn't sick, just tired, just anxious. But as the months dragged on, he couldn't deny what his body was becoming. By the 5th month,
He's a baby bump.
Daniel's
Yep.
abdomen looked undeniably swollen. He wore oversized hoodies, avoided mirrors, and kept the curtains closed. When Marissa finally showed up, pounding on his door, he didn't answer. He couldn't bear for her to see him like that. He could hardly bear to look at himself. He had
Really?
dreams, vivid ones. Dreams of water, of darkness, of something breathing inside him. Sometimes he woke up gasping, drenched in sweat, feeling as though something had shifted within. He tried to work out, to sweat it out, to burn the
Yeah.
fat. But the more he strained, the heavier his body felt. His
Wow,
back
really?
ached. His legs trembled. His heartbeat echoed in his ears. Then one morning, while shaving, he caught sight of his reflection and froze. His eyes weren't the same. They had softened somehow, dulled by exhaustion and something deeper. Fear, maybe, or denial finally cracking. Still, he whispered to the mirror, "It's not real. It can't be." The changes became harder to ignore. His
Yep.
skin stretched taut across his belly, and faint rhythmic motions fluttered beneath. He began hearing whispers, not real ones, but soft murmurs that came when the house was silent. Sometimes it
Really?
sounded like humming from the walls, sometimes like breathing just behind him. At night, the dreams came
Yeah.
back, water closing over his head, a pale light rising from the deep, a voice saying, "You will carry what was lost." He woke shaking, convinced the nightmares were remnants of grief. He remembered the fishing trip last year, how he had pulled the small gold pendant from the lake, shaped like a woman with wings. The old woman at the dock had gasped and told him to throw it back. He had laughed and kept it. Now he wasn't laughing. By the 6th month, the pain became unbearable. His belly rose
Wow.
higher each week. His ribs ached, his spine throbbed, and his reflection no longer looked human. He finally drove to St. Helens Medical Center at midnight, wearing a hoodie and sunglasses though the sky was dark. He told the triage nurse his stomach felt infected. Blood tests came back strange. Hormones that shouldn't exist in a man, an ultrasound that showed something moving. The technician went silent and left the room. Within minutes, doctors surrounded him. They whispered terms: unknown gestational anomaly, foreign tissue mass, intra-abdominal fetus. Daniel couldn't process any of it. When they asked about past surgeries or experiments, he only shook his head. No one mentioned the word pregnant, yet every glance said it. They admitted him for observation.
Yeah.
He stared at the white ceiling, remembering that golden pendant, the voice in his dream, the words, "You will carry what was lost." A chaplain visited.
What about lost?
"Sometimes," she said gently, "miracles don't fit our understanding. Maybe you were chosen to carry something the world isn't ready for." Daniel turned away, gripping his swollen stomach.
Could be.
He
Yeah.
didn't believe in miracles. He believed in concrete, steel, and sweat. But deep inside, the faint heartbeat pulsing against his palm answered for him. That night, the pendant, tucked away in his jeans pocket, grew hot against his skin. He pulled it out. It glowed faintly, the metal trembling like it was alive.
Yeah.
Then, as if in response, the heartbeat inside him quickened. At dawn, agony tore through him. Monitors shrieked. Nurses rushed in. His vitals are dropping, someone shouted. Prep for emergency surgery now. He could barely breathe. His vision blurred as they wheeled him into the operating room. Cold air bit his skin. Lights blazed overhead. Mr. Whitmore, the surgeon said, we have to operate immediately. Do you understand? He nodded weakly. The anesthesia mask descended. The last thing he heard was the sound of two heartbeats, one strong, one fading. When Daniel opened his eyes again, everything was quiet. His abdomen was bandaged, heavy but empty. A nurse stood nearby, tears glimmering in her eyes. On the counter lay a small silver bassinet. Inside it, wrapped in white, was an infant, breathing, sleeping peacefully. It's alive, she whispered, as if afraid to break a spell. He couldn't speak. His throat tightened. The surgeon entered, still pale. We can't explain it, he said softly. There was a complete placenta, a functioning umbilical system. There's no medical way this could happen. The tissue connecting you two dissolved moments after delivery, as
Yeah.
if it had never existed. Daniel asked, the baby, is it? The doctor hesitated. Healthy. Perfectly healthy. Blood type
Oh.
matches yours. Genetic tests confirm you're the biological parent. Daniel closed his eyes. The pendant on the bedside table no longer glowed. It was dull, lifeless metal. In the quiet hours that followed, Daniel held the baby close. The
Oh.
child's skin was warm, heartbeat steady. For the first time in months, his body felt still. He thought of the voice in his dream. You will carry what was lost. He remembered the lake, the story locals told about a woman who drowned decades ago, mourning her unborn child. He
Really?
had pulled her pendant from the water. Maybe that was when something crossed over, searching for a body willing to carry life again. Whether curse or blessing, he had been the vessel. When the hospital asked what to record on the birth certificate, he said only, write the name Grace. They didn't question him. He left St. Helens 2 weeks later, scars healing, body lighter, heart heavy with questions he could never
Oh.
answer. He threw the pendant back into the lake where it belonged. The water rippled once, then went still. He stood there holding the baby, whispering, you were never supposed to be mine, but somehow you are. Some truths defy science, yet they demand acceptance all the same. Daniel spent months denying what he didn't understand, but faith, whether in miracles or in love, can
Yeah.
turn even the impossible into purpose.
True.
Sometimes the mysteries we fear most are not punishments, but
Yep.
invitations to believe again. If the impossible happened to you, would you fight to explain it, or simply hold it close and let the mystery live?
Maybe. Maybe. There was a pandemic we refused to believe it until delivery day by Weaving Service Channel. The link to the video will be description on top. So no, below. Go and check them out and drop a like if you like. And comment below if you want to see more reaction like this one. And subscribe if you're new. And click the bell so you can be notified when blog and go live in a month. Bye. Wow.